1. Introduction. My name is Demi. I am 24 years old. Every night I work at a small shop. The shop sells simple things like drinks, snacks, and newspapers. It is a quiet place. Most people are asleep when I am working. I start my shift when the sun goes down and finish late, sometimes after midnight. There are not many customers at night. Often I am the only person in the shop for hours. It feels very lonely. The clock ticks slowly, and I watch the dark street outside. I wish I had a different job, but this is what I have. After my shift, I must walk home. My home is not far, but the walk always feels long. The streets are very dark. There are only a few streetlights, and some of them do not work. The roads are empty. There are no cars, no buses, and no other people. The silence is deep. Sometimes I hear a small sound like a cat and my heart jumps. I always walk quickly. I try not to look around too much, but I cannot help it. I look behind me often. I am always scared. Every night I feel a cold fear in my stomach. I worry about who might be hiding in the shadows. I think about bad things that could happen. I wish I did not have to walk alone in the dark, but I have no choice. This is my life, night after night. One night was different. It was colder than usual. The moon was hidden behind clouds, making the streets even darker. I had just left the shop. My keys were in my hand, ready for my front door. I was walking fast, as always. My mind was already thinking about being safe in my warm bed. Then I heard it. A soft sound like footsteps behind me. My breath stopped. My heart started to beat very fast, like a drum. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe it was just the wind. But the sound came again, closer this time. I stopped walking. Slowly, I turned my head. My eyes tried to see into the deep darkness behind me. Then I saw him. A man. He was wearing dark clothes, so he blended with the night. His face was covered by a mask. Only his eyes were visible, and they looked hard. He moved quickly towards me. I could not move. My feet felt heavy, stuck to the ground. He stood very close to me. His voice was low and rough. He spoke only a few words. "Give me your money." My body felt completely cold. I could not speak. I could not even scream. My mind went empty. All I could feel was the strong fear. It was like a block of ice inside me. My hands started to shake, but I could not lift them. I was completely frozen. I thought this was the end. I had no escape. The man was waiting. My money was in my bag. I was just standing there, unable to do anything, completely lost in my fear. 2. A stranger helps me. The masked man stood close to me. My heart was beating so fast, I could not move or speak. I felt completely frozen by fear. I thought I was in big trouble. Then, very quickly, something changed. A man suddenly came running. He moved very fast. He pushed the masked man away. The masked man was surprised. He did not expect this. The thief fell back a little, then he stood up quickly. He looked at the new man. He looked angry. But then the thief turned and ran away into the dark street. He disappeared very fast. I stood there, still shaking. My legs felt weak. I watched the masked man run away. I could not believe what had just happened. This new man had saved me. He was very tall. He was also very strong. He had dark hair and kind eyes. His eyes looked at me. They were full of care. He spoke to me. His voice was calm and soft. "Are you okay?" he asked. I tried to speak, but only a small sound came out. I nodded my head. My hands were still shaking a lot. I could feel my whole body trembling. He waited patiently. He did not rush me. He just stood there, looking at me with his kind eyes. After a moment, I could speak a little better. "Yes," I said. "I think so. Thank you. Thank you so much." He smiled gently. "My name is Tim," he said. "It is good that you are safe now." I looked at him. I had never seen him before. He was a complete stranger, but he had helped me. He had saved me from a very scary moment. My fear slowly started to leave me. A new feeling came. It was a feeling of safety. I had not felt truly safe in a very long time. Walking home every night was always full of fear. But now Tim was here. "Thank you, Tim," I said again. "I do not know what I would have done without you." I said it many times. "Thank you, thank you." I felt a big wave of relief wash over me. The dark street still felt cold, but Tim's presence made it feel different. He stood close to me, and I felt protected. It was a strange feeling, but a very welcome one. This kind stranger had appeared when I needed help the most. He was like a light in the dark. I felt so grateful to him. For the first time in a very long time, I did not feel completely alone on the dark street. It was a big change from just moments before. My fear had been so strong, but now it was slowly going away because of him. I finally felt that I could breathe properly again. 3, walking together. Tim asked if he could walk me home. I felt nervous, but I said yes. My heart beat a little faster. Walking home alone was my usual routine. After the scary event, I truly did not want to be by myself. Tim's eyes were kind. He smiled softly. This made me feel better. We started to walk down the street. The night air was cool. This was a new experience, having someone walk beside me in the dark. As we walked, we began to talk. I told him about my job at the small shop. I spoke about the quiet nights and the dark, empty streets. He listened very carefully to everything I said. He did not interrupt. He just looked at me and nodded sometimes. It felt good to have someone listen. I had not talked much to anyone recently. Tim made me feel like my words were important. This was a new and very good feeling. Then I asked him about himself. He told me he worked nearby, not far from my shop. He did not say his exact job, but he confirmed it was close. This made me wonder if I would see him again. He spoke in a calm and steady voice. He seemed quiet, but also very strong. I felt safe walking next to him. The dark streets did not feel so scary with him there. It was a big change from my usual lonely walk home. I felt something strange growing inside me as we walked. It was not fear. It was not just relief from the danger. It was something new and different. It was a nice feeling, like a small, quiet connection. We had only just met, but it felt like we understood each other. I wondered if he felt it too. His presence made the night feel warmer and less lonely. The silence between our words was comfortable. Soon, we reached my home. The warm light from my window looked welcoming. I stopped at my door. I felt a bit sad that the walk was over. I said goodbye to Tim. I thanked him again for everything he had done. He just smiled kindly and said, "Good night, Demi." He turned and walked away into the night. I watched him go until he disappeared. I went inside my apartment. I closed the door, but I could not stop thinking about Tim. His kind eyes, his strong hands, his careful listening. He was a stranger, but he had helped me so much. I wondered if I would ever see him again. The thought stayed with me that night, for seeing him again. The next night arrived, dark and quiet. Demi was at her shop. It felt empty. She thought about Tim. She did not expect to see him. It was a normal night. She cleaned and waited. She felt a small, good feeling inside her. Then the bell above the door rang. Demi looked up. Her eyes widened. Standing there was Tim. He smiled. Demi felt surprised, then happy. She did not think he would come. He walked to the counter. His presence made the shop feel less lonely. "Hello, Demi," he said. His voice was kind. "I just wanted to check on you. Are you feeling safe tonight?" Demi nodded. A warm feeling spread through her. "Yes, Tim, I am safe. Thank you for coming." She was happy he was there. His kind eyes made it brighter. They started to talk. Tim leaned against the counter. He stayed for a while. He told funny stories about things he had seen. Demi listened. She smiled. His stories were light and made her forget her worries. She laughed, a sound she rarely heard at work. He made her feel comfortable. The fear she usually felt seemed far away with him there. The time passed quickly. It was not a lonely night anymore. It was a night of talking and laughter. She watched him speak. After a while, Tim said he needed to go. "I will see you soon, Demi," he said. He gave her a small wave and left. The shop felt empty again, but it was a different empty. It was not scary. It was filled with the memory of his visit. Demi realized something important. She had started to look forward to seeing him. The thought of his return made the long, dark hours at the shop easier. She hoped he would come back. The nights were still dark, but a small light was in her heart. She felt a new calm. Her job felt less lonely. She hoped for his next visit. She felt less alone. 5. The scandal. One evening, something strange began to happen. When I walked to work, people looked at me in a new way. Their eyes seemed to whisper. At the shop, customers talked in low voices. I did not understand why. Then, one day, a woman came into the shop. She looked at me with a knowing smile. "So, you and Tim, eh?" she said. My heart jumped. "What do you mean?" I asked. She just laughed. "Oh, you know," she said, "everyone is talking about your secret relationship." A false rumor was spreading. I felt a cold shock. My face became hot. A secret relationship. This was not true. Tim and I were just friends. He helped me. He made me feel safe. But now people thought something else. I did not know who started this lie. Why would someone do this? I felt confused and sad. I wanted to tell everyone it was not true, but the words did not come out. I felt like I was in a bad dream. The whispers followed me everywhere. When I walked home, I imagined people pointing. I felt very alone with this new problem. When Tim came to the shop that night, I could see he looked different. His face was serious. He saw my sad eyes. "Demi, have you heard?" He asked, his voice low. I nodded slowly. "Yes, the rumors." Tim looked angry. His hands were tight fists. "It's a lie," he said. "A stupid, hurtful lie." But then his anger changed to worry. He looked at me with soft eyes. "I am so sorry, Demi," he said. "This is not fair to you. I did not want this to happen. I am worried about how this makes you feel." I felt like crying. It was hard to face this alone. But Tim was there. He always seemed to be there when I needed him. He came around the counter and stood close to me. He did not touch me, but his presence was strong. "Listen to me, Demi," he said. "Do not listen to them. They do not know us. They do not know the truth. What they say does not change anything between us." He looked into my eyes. "I do not care what other people say," he told me. "I care about you. We know the truth. That is all that matters." His words were like a warm blanket. They helped me feel a little stronger. He stayed with me for a long time that night, talking, making sure I was okay. The rumors were bad, but Tim's support made me feel less trapped. He was still my friend, and that was important. 6. Danger again. The night was dark like many nights before. I left the small shop. The streetlights were far apart. Shadows danced around me. Usually, Tim would walk with me, but tonight he had to finish some work. I felt a little worried, but I told myself I would be fine. I walked quickly. My shoes made a soft sound on the pavement. Then I heard another sound. It was very quiet at first. A soft step, then another. I stopped. The sound stopped too. I started walking again, faster now. The sound started again behind me. Someone was there. My heart began to beat very fast. It was like a drum inside my chest. I remembered the man in the mask from the first night. The cold fear came back, stronger than before. My hands felt cold and my legs felt weak. I wanted to run, but my feet felt heavy, stuck to the ground. I looked over my shoulder. I saw a dark shape in the distance. It was coming closer, moving silently. Panic filled me. I closed my eyes for a second, wishing I was safe at home. When I opened them, Tim was there. He was suddenly beside me, like a silent guardian. He looked serious, his eyes sharp in the dim light. He turned and looked behind us. The dark shape stopped immediately. Tim took a step forward. He spoke in a strong, clear voice. I could not hear his exact words, but the message was clear. The person turned quickly and walked away into the shadows. Tim did not need to fight. His presence, his strong voice, was enough to stop the danger. I felt a big wave of relief wash over me. My body stopped shaking. The cold feeling left me. Tim turned to me. His eyes were kind, as always, full of worry. "Are you okay, Demi?" he asked softly. I could only nod, my voice still lost somewhere inside me. He put his hand gently on my arm, a warm, comforting touch. In that moment, I knew something important and deep. Tim was not just a kind stranger or a good friend. He was more. He always appeared when I needed him most, like an answer to a silent prayer. He saved me again, not just from the person following me, but from the fear that wanted to take over. I realized I could trust him with everything in my life. I could truly trust him with my life. This feeling was new and very strong. It filled my heart with warmth and a sense of safety I had never known. I was not alone anymore, not truly alone, even when he was not right beside me. His care was always there, a strong shield against the dark. The dark nights still came, but with Tim, they were less scary. He was my protector. He was my safe place in a world that often felt dangerous. 7. Learning to love. Every night became a special time for Tim and me. We spent more time together, walking home. Our walks were not just walks anymore. We walked slowly, side by side, enjoying the quiet. We talked a lot, sharing simple stories and laughing. It felt good to have him with me. I learned many things about Tim. He told me about his family and his life. He shared his hopes and small dreams. I also started to open up to him. I told him about my own life and thoughts. We shared small secrets that made our connection stronger. I felt that I truly knew him and he knew me. Slowly, a new feeling started to grow inside me. It was a warm and gentle feeling. It grew quietly, day by day. This feeling was love. I had never thought I could feel this way. I had never imagined I could trust someone so much. Tim made me feel safe, understood, and happy. His presence changed everything for me. Before Tim, the nights were dark and full of fear. Every shadow seemed scary. But now, the nights were different. They were still dark, but they felt calm and peaceful. The fear was gone. I was not alone anymore. Tim was always there, making the dark streets feel bright. Our conversations were not always serious. Sometimes we talked about our day or funny things. Every talk, every laugh made our bond stronger. I looked forward to seeing him every night. I looked forward to our walks and our time together. My life was changing in a beautiful way. I felt a deep connection to Tim. He understood me without many words. He listened carefully. He made me feel important and valued. This feeling was new and wonderful. I knew it was more than just friendship. It was a special love that grew from trust and kindness. My heart felt lighter than ever before. My worries about the dark nights slowly disappeared. I could finally relax and be myself. Tim showed me what it meant to feel safe and loved. My world, which used to be lonely and scary, was now full of light and happiness. This was a new chapter, learning to love. 8. Happy ending. One night the sky was clear and bright. A big moon shone down on the street. It was late, but the moon's light made everything feel peaceful. I was walking home, as I always did. But this night was different. I was not alone. Tim was with me, walking close by. He gently took my hand. His hand was warm and strong. He looked at me and smiled. His smile was kind, just like the first time I met him. When he held my hand, a deep calm came over me. All the old fears that used to follow me home, they were gone. They simply disappeared into the night. I felt so loved in that moment. It was a new and wonderful feeling for me, this quiet love. It filled my heart completely, like a warm light. I was truly happy. My heart felt light, like a bird flying. I looked up at the bright moon. It seemed to shine just for us. This happiness was real. It was not a dream. It was my life now. I remembered the many lonely nights I walked these same streets. They were dark and full of shadows then. Every sound made me jump. My heart beat fast with fear. I always felt alone. But tonight, there were no shadows in my heart. There was only light brought by Tim. He had changed everything for me. He had shown me that light can come even to the darkest nights. Life can be scary sometimes. I knew this well. Bad things can happen. Unexpected dangers can appear. But now I understood something important. With Tim by my side, I was not truly alone. We would face things together. He was a strong and steady person. I knew he would always be there for me. I looked at him again. His eyes were full of care. I saw a future in his eyes. A future that was bright and full of hope. My name is Demi. I used to be afraid, but those days were over. Tonight, under the bright moon, I was no longer afraid. I was Demi, and I was loved. My journey through the dark nights had led me to this happy ending. Every step we took together was a step into a new, safe life.